So after understanding the sexual and asexual reproduction, now it's time to understand variation and heredity. How these genes are transferred from one generation to another. How these differences are transferred from the parent to the offspring. So let's see what is the mechanism by which variations are created and they are passed from one generation to the another, from one parent to the offspring. To understand this, let's take an illustration. Let's understand variations with an interesting illustration. There is a male and a female, and they got married. After marriage, they reproduced, and after reproduction, they gave birth a beautiful boy. So the male becomes a father, female becomes a mother, and they have a child. This child, if you look at him, this child is getting the skin color from his mother. You can see the skin color of the mother, and this skin color is going to the child. So the character of skin color is passing from the mother to the child. And this child has the same height as his father. So we can say child gets the height from his mother. So this child gets the skin color from his mother and the height from his father. So we can say a variation is created, a difference is created, and it is passed from one generation to the another. The first generation passed the characters from themselves to the next generation. Father and mother passed the character to their child. Inheritance from the previous generation provides a basic common body design. When these two individuals reproduced, they gave birth to a human baby. Whenever human reproduces, they gave birth to a human baby, because variations are created, but the basic common body design remains the same. In any case, a human baby will be a human baby. A cat's baby will be a cat's baby. A dog's baby will be a dog's baby. A human will give birth to a human. A cat will give birth to a cat. A dog will give birth to a dog. A tiger will give birth to a tiger only. So the common basic body design is maintained, and minimum changes in it for the next generation. So we can see the transfer of character, the skin color from the mother, the height from the father, transfer of these character from one generation to the another. This phenomena is called as heredity. This is heredity, which the child is getting from their parents. These parents got their character from their parents. So when this new generation reproduces now, the child becomes the father, and he marries a girl. They got married and they reproduces their own baby. The second generation will have differences. You can see the child. It is little different, but she can have the characters of her grandparents, because her father and mother has the characters of their father and mother. And when these characters are getting transferred to this child, the grandparents' character and the parents' character getting accumulated, and they all are going inside this child. And out of all those characters, some characters the offspring will show. They inherit from the first generation. In this case, you can see again, this time the child is getting the skin color of the father. But You can see the hairs. Yes, the hairs are like her mother. So this new generation is getting characters from their parents, their grandparents, and out of all those characters, some characters this offspring will show. Because these are the newly created differences. In this way, variations happens. In this way, the differences happens and it gets passed from one generation to the other, from the other generation to the next generation. So, a child from a family has same characteristics as his parents, his grandparents, his grandparents, up to the 7th generation. Because all these characters, they get accumulated in the latest generation, and the offspring shows some of the characters. This is variation, and this is the mechanism of variation. We'll understand it more deeply with more examples in the next modules.